Alright, so today in this video, I'm going to show you how we can create a real-time collaborative editing features enabled whiteboard app with real-time cursor tracking. So you can think of it like a SaaS app similar to let's say Excalibur or Miro but on steroids. And now the highlighted part of this video or the app that we're about to build is the fact that we are trying to incorporate real-time collaborative editing features and real-time mouse tracking into the app. So basically how it works is that let's assume there are two people, like let's say two users, user A and user B. And now both of them are in the same organization, so they get to work on the same whiteboard. Now, if the person A makes any changes on the whiteboard, the changes are instantly reflected on user or let's say person B's end. That is to say, if person A adds a line or let's say add an image or make any changes, all of that will be instantly reflected on person B's end and vice versa. And not just that, user A will be able to see the real-time cursor with the movement on their screen, and person B will be able to see the person A's cursor on the screen as well. Sounds complex and too technical, right? Well, let me show you a demo of the app that we're about to build in today's video. So this right here is the demo of the real-time collaborative editing features enabled whiteboard app that we're about to build in today's video. So this right here is the landing page of the app. And towards the top, you can find a navbar along with the options to create a new account. And here we have a nice hero section with this cool animation of running text. And then we also have this nice background hover effect as well. Then we have the email input field, a demo image, a couple of these cards explaining the features of our app, and finally a photo section. So first thing first, when a user lands on our page, obviously they want to sign up for a new account, right? So they can go ahead and click on the sign in button right here, and a pop-up appears giving the user the option to sign up for a new account either by using their Apple account, Google account, or just their email address and a password. So in this case, let's say I want to create a new account using Google or logging to the app using my Google account. So all I gotta do is to click on this Google button right here. A pop-up appears. I'll select the email, this one right here. I'll click continue, and there you go. I'm now logged in, and as you can see, the sign in and get started button is replaced with this dashboard button, and the email field is replaced with this go to dashboard button. And now here's the interesting thing. Once you log in, towards the top right corner, you can find a user profile icon. And if I click on this manage account button, yet another pop-up appears showing us a couple of these details like the profile details. And if I want to, let's say, change my profile picture, I can click on this update profile button, change and upload a new image, change email addresses, or even connect another accounts. And if I move over to the security tab, I should be able to see complete details of all the devices and places from where I'm logged in. If I want to, I can set a password and even delete my account. So we have used Clerk for adding authentication into our app. And now that we are signed in, I'll go ahead and click on this go to dashboard button. So this right here is the dashboard of our whiteboard app. And as you can see, first of all, we can find all these whiteboards that we have created. So if I want to, I can delete them, edit them, or view them, and then have the option to create a new whiteboard and give a name in here. And you also have that user profile icon right here. And now here's the most interesting part. So as I mentioned earlier, we have real-time collaborative editing features baked into this app, right? And for that, we need an option to create organizations or teams, add people, invite people, and people can be a part of the same team and collaboratively work and edit the document. And for that, we have actually used Clerk's organization feature. And if I click on this drop-down menu right here, I should be able to see this pop-up where I can create a new organization, change the organization, and do all that. For example, let's say I want to create a new organization. So I can click on this create organization button and give it a name. So let's just go ahead and say Flexi Team. I don't know what that means, but hey, Flexi Team. And then I can go ahead and enter a logo, or let's say upload a logo. So I can click on this upload button, select, let's say, a random image, this one right here. I'll click on open. So this right here is the logo. And now I can click on this create organization button. And next up, I can go ahead and invite people to join this organization. And let's just say I want to add a new user. So I can go ahead and enter their email address in here and click on the send invitation option. If I want to, I can change the role between member and admin. For now, I'll keep it as member, and I can click on send invitation as well. So it says invitation sent successfully, and I can click on finish. And as soon as I changed my organization, okay, let me head back to dashboard. So as soon as I changed my organization, all the whiteboards just disappeared. So the thing is, if I switch to, let's say, this design team organization, or let's say the team, I should be able to see only whiteboards within that organization. So if I go ahead and switch to, let's say, this one right here, that is Flexi Team, since we haven't created any whiteboard, this is blank. And now I can go ahead and click on this create whiteboard option right here, give it a name, let's say test whiteboard. And now I can click on this create option, and that should create a new whiteboard. And there you go, here we have the whiteboard. And now I can go ahead and freely draw on the screen within the pen, maybe add a couple of these shapes, maybe change the color to green, add an arrow mark, or maybe increase the thickness, and then maybe let's say add a circle, and even upload an image. For example, let's say I want to add this image right here, so I can add an image, freely move it around, I can rotate the same. I can do all of that. I can move it around, maybe again rotate the same and all that. So I can do all of that. And now here comes the most interesting part, that is real-time collaborative editing feature. For that, I can go ahead and open a new tab, and I'll click on the sign in button, click Google, and I'll log in to a different account this time. So this one right here, I'll click on continue. So there you go, I'm now logged in. I can find my user profile icon, and if I go to the dashboard now, and as you can see here in the organization selector, I have some pending invitation. So if I click on that one, I can find the Flexi team. So I had already sent the invitation, and I can already find that in here. And now to join the team, all I gotta do is to click on this join button right here. And now I can click on that one to switch the theme. And now here's the magic. I created a new project called as test whiteboard in this one, and I can already find that in here. Maybe I'll go ahead and resize the windows a little bit like this. So as you can see, we have both of them in here. And another cool thing is that as you can see, it says one person online, and we also have this option that says live. And now as soon as I click on this one, this edit button right here from the next account, or let's say the different account, it will now change to 2, and I can collaboratively start working on it. So I'll go ahead and click on this edit button. All right, and there you go. As you can see, it has changed to 2 online, and here also 2 online. And now here's the interesting part. If I move my cursor on the right side, the window on the right side, I can find the cursor along with my name in the tooltip towards the window on the left side. And if I go ahead and move my cursor in the left side window, as you can see, we have that tooltip and the cursor moving in real time on the other side. And now here's the crazy part. If I go ahead and add a shape layer, that is a square, on the window towards the left, I instantly see that reflected on the window on the right side. And mind you, this one right here is a separate account, and this one right here is a separate account as well. Okay, and maybe I can use the pen tool and draw something in here like this, and that is instantly applied on the left side. And maybe I can go ahead and upload an image, maybe let's say this image right here, and as you can see, the image has appeared on both sides as well. And now once done, I can even go ahead and click on this button right here to download the image, and there you go, I have downloaded the whiteboard content as well. So this is the app that we're about to build in today's video. So let's quickly get started. So in order to create the app that I shown you just now, we will be using mainly 3 tools or platforms. So the first one is Lovable.dev. So this is the vibe coding platform that we will use to create the entire app from the ground up. So basically you just go ahead and give a simple text prompt and turn it into an app, okay, without any coding knowledge whatsoever. And second, we'll be using Clerk for incorporating user authentication. And not just that, as I shown you earlier, we also need to implement a method for us to, let's say, create organizations or teams, send invitation to people, make people join the team, and also collaboratively let people work in the same project. And for implementing all that, we're actually going to use Clerk. So Clerk is the most easiest way to implement full-fledged user authentication into our app. And even if you are not using AI, you can just drop in a couple lines of code and you already have Clerk up and running like a full-fledged authentication system. And we'll be using the organization feature right within Clerk, and I'll explain more about that later in this video. And next up, we will use Supabase for incorporating database and real-time functionalities in our app. So obviously we need to store all the content, the whiteboard content, images and all that. And for that, we will be using Supabase. So these 3 are the tools that you will need. So now let's quickly get started. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll go ahead and start with a simple prompt on Lovable, and it says create a whiteboard app like Excalibur or Miro where users can freely draw on a whiteboard, write text, add shapes and arrows, adjust color, etc. And I asked the AI to first let's start by creating a modern and sleek looking landing page for the app. So this is basically the prompt I'll give. And first of all, we went ahead and explained exactly what we want to build or what are we trying to accomplish. And next up, I explicitly asked the AI to start working on creating a sleek looking landing page for the app. And now I'll go ahead and click send. And as you can see, it says I'll create a modern and sleek looking whiteboard application inspired by Excalibur and Miro. And it says, let me start with the beautiful landing page. Okay. All of that looks good. And for design inspiration, I'm drawing from modern design tools like Figma, Notion, and Linear, clean interfaces with subtle gradients, smooth animation, and excellent typography. Okay, looks good. And now as you can see, the AI is writing the code and it will take some time. So we'll wait till it is done and I'll see you afterwards. Alright, so this writer is the landing page that the AI has created for us based on the initial prompt that we give. And here we have a navbar, a hero section, a demo video, a couple of these cards in here with nice lifting kind of animation, a footer section and all that. And for any reason, if you don't like the UI that the AI has created for you, you can go ahead and ask the AI to make subsequent changes. So in this case, I'll go ahead and open a tool called as, or a website called as 21st.dev. And now 21st.dev is a platform where you can access hundreds of UI components and include it in your project in a single click. So in this case, let's say I don't really like the hero section of our app, including the navbar. So I can head over to 21st.dev and maybe I can go ahead and click on this option that says heroes. And here I'll be able to see all these hero sections that I can incorporate into my app in just a single click. For example, this one right here looks good. So this is the, okay, so this right here is the demo. So here we have the hero section. Okay, cool looking navbar and all that. Maybe I can head back and try to find a different one. Okay, so this one right here is yet another one. Okay, so this has this nice animation and running text and all that. And I feel like I want to include this instead. So I want to replace the landing page of the current one and replace it with this hero section from 21st.dev. And now all I gotta do is to click on this option that says copy prompt towards the top right. And you can go ahead and click on that button and I'll click on copy prompt. And now as you can see, it says prompt copy to clipboard. And the thing is, you can go ahead and copy the prompt and include it in your project without paying for anything or even without signing up. So I have copied the prompt and now I can go ahead and tell Lovable, I don't really like the navbar and the hero section. Could you please replace it with the one below? And I'll go ahead and paste all the code or the content that we copied using this copy prompt button. And now I'll go ahead and click on the send button. So basically I'm asking the AI within Lovable to add the same to our project. So basically the AI will go ahead and include this particular hero section along with this navbar. So let's wait for it to complete. All right, so there you go. So the AI has went ahead and added the hero component that we copied from 21st.dev into our project. And right now it looks far way better, right? So we have this running text in here, this card right here. Then we have this email input box, this nice background with this hover effects to it, and also this navbar right here. And if I scroll down, okay, so this section right here does not really match the vibes of our hero section. And I also want to include, let's say, a different sort of image right here. And the cool thing within Lovable is that you can go ahead and download an image and attach the same in here and ask the AI to add it to, or let's say replace the current image in the project. And next step, I'll also go ahead and ask the AI to make these cards in here match the color of our hero section as well. I just went ahead and found a random image from the internet and I downloaded the same. And I'll head back to Lovable and now I can maybe go ahead and drag and drop the same in here and ask the AI to replace this image with the one that we uploaded. So I can go ahead and say, can you please replace the image in the hero section with the one that I attached below? And now I'll also ask the AI to redesign, or let's say change the color scheme of all these cards and the footer section as well. And I can also go ahead and say redesign the cards below the hero section and the footer section to match the color scheme and design of our hero section. Okay, and I'll go ahead and hit enter. So basically I want this area, that is this area with all these cards and also the footer section, to match the hero section. So I have give the prompt and now let's just wait for it to complete coding the same. Okay, so seems like it's done. And now if I scroll down, okay, So this looks far way better, and the section with all these cards and the footer section now nicely matches with the hero section, and everything looks good. So here we have the updated image, and then we have the card section, free drawing, smart shapes, rich colors, infinite canvas, lightning fast, real-time collaboration, and we also have this footer section. And now pretty much all of that looks good. And now if you want to make any changes to the landing page, you can go ahead and ask the AI to start making all the changes, explain exactly what you want to change, and you can take it up from there. For now, I'm pretty happy with the landing page that I was able to generate, or let's say create in this case. And next up, we'll go ahead and try to implement, let's say, user authentication, and then we'll go ahead and implement the actual functionality of this whiteboard thing. Okay, so in this case, as I mentioned earlier, we'll be using Clerk for user authentication. So the first thing that you're going to do is to go ahead and click the link in the description below and head over to clerk.com. And if this is your first time, you need to go ahead and sign up for a new account. So just go ahead and sign up for a new account and log into your dashboard. And now once you're logged in, you'll be redirected to this page right here. And since we are trying to create a new app, you obviously need to create a new project, right? So I can click on this option that says create application. And now you need to give your app a name. So in this case, the AI has called our app Sketch Spark. Okay, nice one. So I'll go ahead and put that in here, Sketch Spark. And now you have the option to select the sign-in options that you want to provide your users. Now with the press of a button, you can go ahead and add all these sign-in options. For example, let's say I want to add email, phone number, Google, Facebook, Apple. I mean, you can go ahead and select all of that and include in here. But in this case, I only want to add email, let's say Google, and maybe GitHub, or maybe let's say Apple. So these are the three options that I want to provide. So depending on your use case and what app you are trying to build, you can go ahead and select all these sign-in options. And you can also go ahead and add and reconfigure these options anytime within the dashboard as well. And now this is how it will look like. And I'll click on this create application button right here. So there you go. Clerk is now giving us this quick tutorial on how to implement, or let's say incorporate Clerk authentication into our project. For example, we have guide for Next.js, React, Remix, Astro, Expo, iOS, JavaScript, TanStack, Start, and all that. So let's say you're working on a Next.js project. So all you're going to do is to install this package right here, grab your API keys, create a middleware.ts file, update the layout.tsx file, and you should be pretty much sorted. So in this case, the project that we are building is actually based on React. So I'll move over to this React tab right here. And now if you want to, you can also go ahead and copy the master prompt and pass it into the AI just like this. So the AI will have pretty much everything in its context as to how to implement Clerk authentication. But the cool thing is Lovable already knows how to do all that, like implementing the actual authentication using Clerk. So we don't need to do any of that. So as you can see, in order to install and set up Clerk on a React based project, we need to first install this package, and then this package right here. I mean, first create a React project, that is Vite React project, install the package, grab and create a .env file, and then import the Clerk publishable key and add this Clerk provider. That is to wrap your app with this Clerk provider component, and you should be pretty much sorted. Okay, if you want to, you can then go ahead and incorporate all these components in here. And now in our case, you don't have to do any of that. You can just go ahead and ask the AI to go ahead and implement the same. I'll go ahead and say, that is, next up, go ahead and implement a full-fledged user authentication using Clerk. I have the API key with me. I'm attaching the same in here. And now I went ahead and copied this part right here and pasted the same in here. And now all I gotta do is to go ahead and click on the send button right here. And now Lovable will go ahead and add Clerk authentication into our app. So let's wait. Alright, so it says successfully implemented a complete Clerk authentication system for the app. And now if I click on the sign in button, as you can see here, we have a pop-up box asking us to sign into the app. And this particular component is powered by Clerk. And as we configured our app to use Apple and Google, you can find these two options in here, that is Apple, Google, and also email. And now as you can see here, we don't have any users yet. So if I move over to the users tab, as you can see, we have none. And now if I head back and if I click on this Google button right here, I should be able to log into my app. So I'll select this email right here, click continue. Okay, I'm now logged in, hopefully. Let's see, it's loading. I'm now authenticated, and as you can see, I can find my user profile icon towards the top. And now the sign in and sign up URL has been replaced with a dashboard option right here, which for now is broken. Actually the AI has implemented a dummy dashboard as well. This looks sick. I mean, we have this user profile icon right here. So what happens is that if you click on this user profile icon right here and click on this option that says manage account, you should be able to change your profile picture by clicking the update profile option right here. You can upload a custom photo, add more email addresses, or even connect other accounts. For example, let's say another Google account. And if I move over to the security tab right here, I should be able to set a password if I want to, and then also see all the devices and locations from where I'm logged in using this particular account. I mean, the users gets to see all of that if you were to, let's say, implement authentication using Clerk. And now the even cooler part is that if I now head back to Clerk and if I refresh this page, I should be able to see the complete list of all users that have signed up on my app. And now if I go to the overview page, I should be able to see all these options. And now if I go to the configure page, I should be able to then edit all these, extra settings that you can configure in here, like enabling multi-factor authentication restrictions, attack protection, or maybe let's say setting up the billing, like the newly introduced billing. Like you can literally go ahead and collect payments from your app directly within Clerk. Provided you have a Stripe account, you have options for all that, configure webhooks, get the API keys and all that. And now if I move over to this organizations tab right here, this is where the magic happens. So as I mentioned earlier, in our app, we provide an option where users within an organization, or let's say the same team, can collaboratively work on the same project and work on the same whiteboard. And in order to enable the same, we need this organizations feature right within Clerk. And now we'll come back to that later. But in which ways, in just a couple of clicks, I was able to incorporate a full-fledged user authentication into our app completely using Clerk. And now here comes the even more interesting part. That is, Clerk is completely free to use till the point your app has, let's say, 10,000 monthly active users. Not total users, but monthly active users. So you only need to pay for Clerk after your app reaches this 10,000 monthly active users, or let's say 100 active organizations threshold. So let's say your app has like 1,000 monthly active users or 5,000 or 7,000 monthly active users, you don't really have to pay. And even then, they have an affordable plan starting at $25 per month. Okay, so that's for the pricing part. And now we have successfully implemented user authentication into our app. And now we also have this dummy whiteboard page as well. And now we also need to enable this, let's say, organizations feature. And I'll come back to that after we have the basic whiteboard setup and going on. And now let's just go ahead and try to create the actual whiteboard. And now I'll go ahead and say user authentication works. Now let's go ahead and implement full-fledged whiteboard with all the features like the option to draw freely on the screen, change color, add shapes and arrows, etc. And now we'll go ahead and hit enter. So basically we now want to give the users the option to create a new whiteboard, freely draw on the whiteboard, or maybe add some text, arrow, shapes, change color and all that. And after the initial version is ready, we can take it up from there. So let's wait. Seems like we have some problem in here. It says build unsuccessful. And okay, so we have some problem. So all I gotta do is to click on this try to fix it option right here. So the thing is, when you're building something using AI, the AI will make mistakes along the way. And if you find any error like this, all you gotta do is to click on this try to fix option, or let's say this button right here. And now the AI will analyze the error code and all other provided details, and it will go ahead and fix it for you. Okay, so as you can see, okay, the AI has started working on fixing the issue. So I'll see you afterwards. So let's wait for it to complete the same. All right, so the AI has went ahead and fixed all these errors, and this right here is how our whiteboard looks for now. So I can go ahead and change it to the pen, maybe select the red color, increase the brush size, and I'm now able to draw freely on the screen, and it works. And the thing is, I don't really want a tools section right here. So the color selector is actually taking too much space on the screen. So basically what I want to do is I want to add this color picker as a icon in here, and upon clicking that icon, I want to make the color picker visible. So I'll go ahead and give a prompt. So this is basically the prompt I'll give, and it says I don't want the color picker and brush size tool to take up this much space. Can you add them as an icon in the main sidebar, that is this one right here, towards the left? And upon clicking the same, the pop-up should appear, giving the users the option to select the color and the brush as different icon. And I'll go ahead and click on the send button, and let's wait. All right, so that's also now done. So here we have the color picker option, and also the brush size tool. And basically the AI threw errors 2 times. So I just asked the AI to fix it by clicking on the fix button, and now the AI has taken care of all that. And as you can see, I can now select a color like, let's say, green, and draw on the screen using the pen tool. Maybe draw a circle like this. Okay, I can make it small and big, and also rotate the same. But seems like we have a bug in here. So as soon as I rotate, or let's say drag and drop the shape, a new circle, or let's say a new shape layer appears. So that is a bug that I need to fix first. So I can go ahead and say, whenever I try to resize, drag and drop, or rotate a shape, as soon as I lift the finger of the mouse, a new shape gets added too. I don't want that. Please fix this bug. And now I'll hit enter, and let's try to fix the same. Alright, so seems like the bug is now fixed, and I should be able to draw a shape in here, rotate the same, and everything should work. I can freely move it around, maybe add a new shape, and everything works, right? And I even have the option to upload a photo as well. So here I have a dummy photo, and it is actually set as a background. So that is not what we want. So basically when a user adds a photo, we should give the option to, let's say, freely move it around, resize and all that. And now if I click on this text option, okay, I can add some text in here as well. So basically now the thing that I want to do is to, let's say, give the users the option to drag and resize the image. So I can go ahead and say, when the user uploads a image, it shouldn't get added as a background. Instead, we should give the option to drag and drop to replace, or let's say resize the image and move it around. And also maybe I can also go ahead and ask the AI to change the icon. Also change the icon of the image upload option to feature a image icon. Pretty self-explanatory, right? So I'll go ahead and hit enter, and let's see. All right, so that's also now done. So let me go ahead and try to upload the same image. Okay, I can now freely move around this image and also rotate the same, and maybe draw something on the screen, add shapes, change color, and type something astro, let's say. And now I can move around, make it bigger. Yeah, all of that looks good, right? So pretty much the basic functionality of our intended app is working. I can even add arrow marks. Okay, so all of that is working. So here comes the most important part, and that is finally connecting a database to store all these content that we, or let's say the whiteboards that we create, and also giving people the option to collaboratively work on the same whiteboard and updating content in real time. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll go ahead and ask Lovable to incorporate Clerk's organization feature. So basically the organizations feature right within Clerk allows people to form an organization, or let's say a team, and then add people to the same, and one person will be assigned as an admin, and then they can go ahead and, let's say, send invites, add people, and then create a team, and everyone within that team, or let's say organization, should have access to all these, let's say, whiteboards that they're working on. So for example, let's say you have a company, and within the company you have multiple sub teams, and people within their own teams should be able to see all these whiteboards. So that is basically the idea. So I'll go ahead and first of all enable organizations, and now I need to configure a couple of these settings in here. So the default role for members will be set to member. Creators initial role will be obviously admin. And now, okay, if you want to, let's say, limit the number of membership, you can do that in here. Allow new members to delete organizations. Maybe I'll disable that. And yeah, all of that looks good. And now I'll hit save. So basically we have implemented, or let's say enabled, the organizations feature right within Clerk. And now I'll head back to Lovable, and I'll go ahead and ask the AI to implement the same in here as well. So I'll go ahead and paste this prompt, and it says, can you implement the organizations feature of Clerk in this app? Basically, a user should be given the option to select a workspace and should be able to invite other people as well. People within the same workspace should be able to see all the projects created by other users in the same workspace. If a user switches to a different organization or workspace, only projects in those workspace should be shown. Okay, and now if you want to, you can head over to Clerk and maybe open the documentation page of organizations, and now copy this content as markdown and paste it in here for additional context. But for now this looks good, so I'll go ahead and send. And if the AI run into any error, I'll go ahead and copy the content from the documentation page as markdown and I'll paste the same in here and we can take it up from there. And now the AI says, I'll help you implement Clerk's organization feature to enable workspaces in your Whiteboard app. This will require enabling organizations in your Clerk dashboard and updating the code to support workspace selection and project sharing. Okay, so we have done all that. We have actually enabled organizations feature, and now let's wait. All right, so seems like that's done. And as you can see here, we have a drop down menu, and for now it says Astros Personal. And if I click on this drop down menu, I find an option that says create workspace, and now the colors are a bit off. I need to fix that. And if I click on this create workspace option, it is giving me this pop-up. So it is not supposed to work this way. So what I'll do is I'll head back to, let's say, the documentation page, and I'll copy the page as markdown. And now I'll go ahead and say, refer to the docs given below and implement the correct, let's say, Clerk organization components. And I'll go ahead and, okay, send all this, and I'll hit send, and let's see. So basically what I want to do is I want to use the built-in Clerk components, like the pre-built components like create organization, organization profile, all this. Okay, as of now the AI went ahead and tried to implement something else, and that is not what we wanted. So just in case if you run into any kind of errors like this, all you gotta do is to copy the documentation. So it could be Clerk, or let's say any other for that matter. It could be Supabase or any other third-party service, or let's say tool that you're working with. You can head over to the documentation and copy the entire content and paste it and give context to the AI, and that should help to fix the problem. And now it says fix the organization selector by using the correct, okay, property and all that. And now if I click on this one, it still shows the same. So I need to fix it again. So I'll go ahead and say, I want you to use Clerk's pre-built components for creating the organization, and let's hit enter and let's see what happens. All right, so there you go. It has now replaced it. And if I click on this drop down menu right here, now I can find the option to create a new organization. And if I click on this one, it gives me this pop-up. And now one more thing that I noticed is that the Clerk components are right now having this dark theme, and it is not suiting well with our app. So what we have to do is we'll go ahead and ask the AI to use light mode instead. So I can go ahead and say, can you please use light theme for Clerk? That's the default theme right now. The dark version is not looking that good or blending with our application. And I'll hit enter and let's see. All right, so there you go. If I click on this drop down menu right here, now I can find the light version of this organization pop-up. So if a user wants to, let's say, create a new organization, all that they got to do is to click on this button right here and click on this option that says create organization. And now another pop-up appears asking the person to enter the organization name. And for now, let's just go ahead and give some random name. Let's just go ahead and say design team. So this is the name of the organization. And now if you want to, you can even go ahead and upload a logo as well. And for now, I'll just go ahead and take a screenshot like this and upload the same. So here you have the option to upload, and the recommended size is 1:1. So I'll click on upload and select the screenshot. And yeah, so this right here is the logo for now. And if I now click on this create organization button right here, okay, so it is giving me the option to invite people to this new team. And now as of now, I only have one user in my app. So if I go to users, as you can see, we only have one user. So next up, maybe I'll go ahead and sign up. Okay, maybe I can skip it totally. So if you already have an account, let's say you have other users, basically they can go ahead and enter their email address in here and select a role and click on the send invitations option, and an invite will be sent to them. For now, I'll skip it. and let's wait for it. Okay, for some reason we are redirected back to our landing page. I'll head back to dashboard, and there you go. As you can see, so it is a little difficult for us to see it now, but we'll fix that in a bit. But if you click on that one, as you can see here, we have the newly created organization, that is the design team, and I'm currently the admin, so I can find this admin option. So before that, I'll do one thing. I'll go ahead and open the project in a new tab, and now I'll click on the sign in button and create a new account based on a different email. So this time around, I'll select this email right here and click continue. Okay, I guess I'm now logged in. Let's wait. Okay, so now I'm logged in, right? Now if I head back to Clerk and if I refresh this page, I should see 2 users. So there you go. And now what I'll do is I'll head back to this version, that is the first account in which I'm member of this design team, and I'll click on this manage option right here, and it will open a pop-up like this where you can update the profile picture of the organization, leave the organization. And if I click on this members option right here, I'll be able to add new members and also find the list of all members that are currently active. And now to invite a new member, what I'll do is I'll click on this invite button, and now all you gotta do is to enter the email. So in this case, the email of the second account is astrojoseph1000@gmail.com, and I'll select the role as member and click on send invitation. And now here's the cool part. Clerk will actually go ahead and send a real email to that particular provided email. And if you move over to the invitation tab, you can find it in here. And now if I go ahead and click on refresh, and now if I click on this button right here, maybe let's just go to dashboard first. And as I can see here, we have this pop-up. Okay, so we have that, let's see, this icon indicating one. And if I click on that one, I already see that invite in here. So this right here is the organization that I created. It says design team, and we also have this profile picture. And when I open it from the second account, as you can see here, we have the design team, the profile picture. And now to join the organization, all I gotta do is to click on this join button right here, and that should be it. Now I'm part of that particular organization. And now here's the interesting bit. And if I want to, let's say, move to that particular organization, or as you can see right now, I'm in my personal account. You could probably already tell it by looking at my profile picture. But if I click on this icon right here and select design team, I should be able to move to the organization, that is design team right here. And before that, I'll go ahead and click on this edit option and select this text right here. And I can go ahead and say the organization name is in black and I'm unable to see it. Could you please change the color to, let's say, white? Okay, lots of typos. I'll fix all of that and click on send. So basically I want this organization name to be in white so that it is properly visible. So let's wait. So there you go, that is fixed and it is now in white. And now I can switch between my personal account and also the organization account. And now the font has actually changed. Okay, everything looks good, right? And now if I go ahead and try to draw, everything works. I can, let's say, add text in here. I can add shapes. I can add arrow marks, and all of that looks good. And I can even rearrange the same. Okay, this is a bug that we need to fix. The pointing part of the arrow is not moving along with this line. So we'll come back to that later. And now the organization part is also successfully implemented. And now one thing that I've noticed is that if you head over to the, let's say, okay, the landing page, that is the home page. And if I click on this dashboard button, it automatically takes me to this whiteboard right here. So the dashboard is completely somehow gone. So I'll go ahead and say, create a dashboard where users can find all their previous whiteboards and view and filter them by organization, and also include the option to create a new whiteboard as well. So basically we want to create a dashboard section where it will list all the whiteboards that the user has created, and also the option to create a new one. And we also give an option where the users can filter and see all the whiteboards within an organization only. Okay, so if a user is active on, let's say, 3 different organizations, when the user selects an organization, only whiteboards within that organization should be made visible. So let's wait. Alright, so seems like the AI has created the dashboard as well, and now maybe I can refresh it once. And there you go. Here we now have a new route called as slash dashboard, and as soon as I visit the same, I'm taken to this page right here where I can find all these whiteboards that I've been working on, create a new whiteboard, and also search whiteboard and all that. Okay, so that looks good, right? And now as of now, every time we create a new whiteboard and as soon as we leave the page, everything, the no changes are saved and no whiteboards are preserved anywhere. And as soon as we leave the page, everything gets discarded, right? And to fix it and to preserve all the details, next up we need to implement a proper database. And for that one, we are actually using Supabase. So Supabase is a platform that you can use to incorporate a real database into your project, basically like a backend, all thanks to edge function feature and all that, bucket storage, you name it. So basically what we want to do is we want to incorporate Supabase into our project. So the next thing that you got to do is to head over to supabase.com and sign up for a new account. And next up, I'll go ahead and log into the dashboard and I'll create a new project. So I'll click on this create project option and give it a name. So in this case, I'll go ahead and say Sketch Spark, give a database password. And next up, you need to select the location closest to your users. So in this case, I'll select the default and I'll click on this create new project option. So let's wait. So as you can see, here we have created a new Supabase project and here we actually have a typo in the name. So excuse that. And now next up, all you gotta do is to go ahead and click on this icon that says Supabase. So manage Supabase. So if you click on this icon right here, you will find a button that says connect Supabase. So I'll click on the same. And next up, I need to click on this option that says connect a project and select the newly created project. Okay, so that is this one right here, Sketch Spark. So I'll select the same. Let's wait for a few seconds. And it says the project is connected. So we went ahead and connected our Supabase project into this Lovable project. And it says your app is now connected to Supabase. And next up, we'll go ahead and ask the AI to create a database and then store all these whiteboards and all that. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and say, next up, I want to store all the whiteboards and the content that people create in a database so that they can view it anytime and edit it as well. Create a new table and save all the whiteboard details. And do remember, we use Clerk for authentication. So we use the Clerk user ID and also we have the organization feature enabled as well. So we need to store that as well. And now I'll go ahead and hit enter and we can take it up from there. So basically I want to incorporate a full-fledged database system to our project so that all the whiteboards that our users create will be preserved and saved into the database. And now the users can come ahead and log into their account and start working on it and people can collaboratively work on it and all that. So yeah, here it is suggesting us to create a new table. So I'll go ahead and click on this apply changes option and you don't have to do anything. AI will automatically go ahead and create a new table in your Supabase project right here. So if you go to table editor for now, okay, as you can see here we have the whiteboards table that the AI has created and now it is writing the logic to get the real data from Supabase instead of mock data. So let's wait. So there you go. It says I've integrated Supabase with your whiteboard application. Here's what has been implemented. Real database storage, Clerk integration, auto save detection, real-time dashboard, organization support, proper filtering and canvas persistence. All right. And now here it says no whiteboards found. Obviously we haven't created any whiteboards yet. So I'll click on this option. Okay. So I'll head back and click on this option that says new whiteboard. And now it is asking us to give a new name. So I can go ahead and say test one, click on create. All right. So it says failed to create whiteboard. So I'll go ahead and say, we already have some build error in here. So I'll go ahead and try to fix it first. I'll click on this button. And after that, we'll go ahead and try to fix this error where it is unable to create the whiteboard for some reason. So let's wait. So it seems like we have some errors with RLS policies. So I just went ahead and clicked on this apply now option and all the changes are made, and let's wait for it to fix the same. All right, so seems like that's done. I'll refresh once. So I'll go ahead and click on this new whiteboard option, give it a new name, test1, click on create, and there we go again. We have the same error. So we are unable to create the whiteboard. I guess it's mostly because our app is unable to save the same into Supabase table. So it has something to do with the Supabase integration is what I guess. Any chance, I'll head over to console. Okay, so here we have a couple of these error codes. So I'll go ahead and say when I click the create a new whiteboard button, it shows. And maybe I can also go ahead and copy all these error code from the console and paste it in here as well. And now I'll hit send. Maybe I can close this one and let's see what happens. All right, so that part is now done. And if I click on new whiteboard again, click on create. All right, so there you go. Whiteboard is ready and it is saved successfully, I guess. And now if I head back to Supabase and let's say refresh this table, I should be able to see the same in here, I guess. So let's see. So there you go. Here we have the user ID, clerk user ID, clerk organization ID, the name, canvas date, thumbnail, URL, and all that. So yeah, that part is also working. So if I go ahead and let's say draw something on the screen like this, maybe add some text in here, maybe let's say test1, maybe change the color to red, drop in some shapes in here, maybe increase the width a little bit and add a arrow. Yeah, so these are all the things that I've added. And now if I click on the save button, all the changes must be saved, but as soon as I click on the save button, everything just disappears from the screen. Okay, so that is a bug that we need to fix. So far a lot is working, but the option to save the whiteboard is not working for some reason. And maybe I'll try to refresh it once before I give the new prompt. And it says whiteboard loaded. Okay, test1, everything is saved. But if I head back to Supabase, I can find all this data in here. That is the canvas data JSON-B. So all the data that we entered in this whiteboard is actually saved to our Supabase table, but for some reason they are not getting visible on the screen. So we'll have to fix that. So I'll go ahead and say, after I add some content into the whiteboard and click the save button, all the content just disappears. Upon visiting the database table in Supabase, I see the content are saved to the canvas data column. Please fix it and hit enter. So as you can see, the data is getting saved in the canvas data section right here. But for some reason, Lovable is, or let's say the app that we built is unable to pull the same and display it nicely on the screen. So let's wait. So as you can see, it says I can see the issue. The problem is that when you save the whiteboard, the update whiteboard mutation is invalidating all whiteboard queries, which triggers a refetch. Obviously that makes sense. So let's wait for it to complete fixing the same. Alright, so there you go. Lovable has fixed the problem and all the content that we saved on a whiteboard magically just appeared out of nowhere. As I mentioned earlier, all these data was getting saved, but for some weird reasons, they were not getting visible. And now let's just go ahead and let's add a shape in here, like this circle right here. And now if I click on the save button right here, okay, everything is saved. And again, the same error. Okay, hold on. And if I, let's say, refresh it, whiteboard loaded. Okay, so seems like the joy didn't last much. So I need to ask the AI to fix it again. So I'll go ahead and say, it still behaves the same. As soon as I save the changes, everything gets disappeared. Okay. All right, so that error is also now gone. So if I go ahead and let's say add a new shape in here, and if I click on the save button, everything stays and I get a toast message saying whiteboard saved successfully. And now here's the interesting part. So we have actually implemented the organizations feature using Clerk so that pretty much everyone within the same organization should get to see all the projects, right? All the whiteboards that the person has created. So we actually went ahead. Right now I'm logged into this account right here. That is astrojosephfire@gmail.com. And right now we are in the design team right here. And the project name that I'm working on is called as test one. Okay. And now here in this tab right here, I'm logged in to a different account, that is astrojoseph1000@gmail.com. And now if I visit the dashboard, I should be able to see this particular project that we are working on. So if I head back, as you can see, so I actually created this test one project from this account based on this email, and I'm able to see the exact same project in this account based on this email. So basically, people who are part of the same organization get to see the same projects, and if they want to, they can collaboratively work on it by clicking on this edit account icon right there. And now what happens is that everything gets loaded. So these are all the content that we can see in here, and now the same is in here as well. And now let's just say I make some changes in here by moving the position, and if I click save and if I head back, say refresh it, so this box, or let's say this rectangle or square, whatever that is, will appear towards the bottom. So let's wait. So it is pulling the real-time data from Supabase. So obviously that is now dropped a little towards the bottom side. So collaborative editing option is indeed working, but what's not working is the real-time feature. And now trust me, this is where things get super crazy. So basically the next feature that I'm trying to incorporate is the fact that when a user, for example, the user comes ahead and select this scribble drawing right here, and when they move it around the screen, or let's say adjust the position, the same should get instantly reflected in real time on the other person's whiteboard as well. Okay, or the other person, if this guy comes ahead and moves the circle over to here, the same should get instantly reflected in the other person's side, or almost all people working on the same project. And now doing so is pretty simple. Now all I gotta do is to go ahead and ask the AI to implement the same. So I'll go ahead and say, next step, I want to add real-time collaborative editing feature into the app when two users within the same organization is working on the same whiteboard. All the changes made by user A should instantly get updated on user B's screen as well. So this is basically the feature that we want to add initially. And next up, if needed, we'll also go ahead and add this cursor tracking feature as well. So for example, if I go ahead and move my cursor in here like this, the user should be able to see that in their end as well, and also maybe a marker noting our name. So that is what I'm trying to incorporate. First of all, we'll go ahead and send this message, and let's try to add the real-time feature and incorporate collaborative editing, that is real-time collaborative editing. So let's wait. So finally we have the real-time collaborative feature working on our app, and to be honest, it actually took me a while to get to this point. So the AI kept throwing errors after errors, and fixing it actually was kind of like a pain. And one thing that has actually helped me is that I asked the AI to sort of console log everything, like everything that's happening, like every event. And then I'll go ahead, when a feature is not working, I'll go ahead and copy the console log content. For example, if I right click and click on inspect and move over to maybe make this a bit bigger and click on console, so you can find all the things that is happening in here. So I explicitly asked the AI to console log everything, and now when something does not work, or let's say does not really work the way I wanted to, I just go ahead and copy the console log content and paste it in here, and that has actually worked. So that is one thing. And now the real-time collaborative feature is indeed working. So here I have opened up a sketch or let's say a whiteboard, and let's say I go ahead and draw a square in here. So here we have a square, and maybe I can then go ahead and open it up in a new tab, or maybe from a different account. So these two are different instances. So basically how this works is that in this one, that is the main window right here, maybe I can make it smaller like this. So here, as you can see, in this one I'm logged in as this email, and in this one I'm logged in as this one, and both these members are in the same organization, that is design team. And now watch the magic. If I go ahead and draw something in here like this, the same instantly appears on the other side, on the other person's side. Similarly, if I go ahead and add something in here like this, the same gets reflected on the other person's side, and vice versa. And the even cooler part is I can rearrange, or let's say drag and move the content around in real time, and everything gets updated in real time on the other person's end as well. And maybe I can even go ahead and add an image just like this one right here, and the same is instantly updated, and I can resize them, move it around the screen, and everything pretty much works. I can maybe draw something on the screen like this, maybe change the color to red and increase the brush size, draw. Look at that. So real-time feature is indeed working. Now what happens is that two people in the same team collaboratively working on the same project can work in real time as if they were working on the same system. So whatever changes that one person makes instantly get reflected on the other person's end, and pretty much everything is working. And now another cool thing is that towards the top you will find a option called as live. So if a person is connected and broadcasting all the changes live, you will see a status saying live, and similar is the case with the other person's end as well. And you also get a notification, or let's say an indicator telling how many people are online. So in this case 2 people are working on this project, and as you can see here it says 2 online, and here we have some unsaved changes. So if I click on the save button, it says saving, and yes, everything is up to date and changes are synced. And I can do the same in here as well. And if I go ahead and take up this eraser and erase something in there, the same is reflected in here as well. So collaborative feature is indeed working. And now maybe I can put it in full screen, and maybe I can go to the dashboard, and here you will find the complete list of all the whiteboards that the user has created. As you can see here, we have test 1, test 2, test 3 and test 4. So these 3 are separate ones that I created for testing purposes. And now if I head back to the Supabase table, that is whiteboards, I should be able to see all the entries in here. So in total here we have 4 whiteboards, and I should have 4 entries in here. So the same title and all other details, everything looks good. So if I click on this button right here, I should be able to view it and edit it, and yeah, everything is pretty much working. And now yet another thing is that if a person creates a project, or let's say a whiteboard in an organization, so in this case I'm logged in as this email, but I actually created all these whiteboards in this particular team, that is design team organization. So if I go ahead and let's say switch to my personal account, as you can see it says no whiteboards found, because I haven't really created any whiteboards from my personal account. So I can just go ahead and click on new, and let's say personal, and click on create. And as you can see, I have created a new personal whiteboard. And now if I go ahead and maybe I can head back in here to the dashboard. Okay, maybe I can make it full screen. There you go. I don't really find that in here because that was created in my personal account. Okay, so that is how it is. And if I want to, I can just add collaborators and do all that kind of stuff. But the point is, only if a person is within the right organization will they have access to certain whiteboards, and they can take it up from there. So collaborative feature is now indeed working. And next up, I also want to include real-time cursor tracking feature as well. So in some tools like Figma, if one person moves their cursor on the screen, the same can be seen on the other person's end as well. So that is the next feature that I want to include in the app. So I'll go ahead and say I want to include real-time cursor tracking as well. When a person moves the cursor over the whiteboard, a cursor with a tooltip mentioning the name of the person should move in real time in other person's end and vice versa. So this is the prompt I'll give, and I can go ahead and hit enter, and let's see. Alright, so real-time cursor tracking feature is also now working. As you can see, I'm moving the cursor on one of my screens, and the same is getting instantly reflected on the main screen along with the tooltip indicating the name as well. So I went ahead and asked the AI to incorporate real-time cursor tracking first, and it did not work. So I went ahead and gave another message telling I don't see any real-time cursor, and now it is fixed. And now maybe I can resize the window and add this window right here and make it a bit smaller. And as you can see, when I move my cursor in here, I can find that in here, right? So the reason you're seeing the same name in both these cursor is because I used my email and both of them have the same name. Maybe I'll do one thing. I'll go ahead and sign up using a different account, and I'll go ahead and maybe invite the same person to this organization as well. Maybe let's put it in full screen, select the team, click on manage members, and I'll go ahead and send invite to a new member. I'll use a different email address so that things will be pretty clear for you guys. So I'll go ahead and send invitation, sign up on our app using this email, and I'll see you afterwards. So there you go. I went ahead and signed up on this app and added the person to this same app, and the person's name is Molly. So if you go ahead and let's say move my cursor, as you can see, the tooltip now has the different name. See, I'm moving the cursor in the right side and I find the cursor movement in the left side window as well. And now if I go ahead and let's say move the cursor in the right side, I find the movement in the left side along with the tooltip as well. So basically the real-time cursor feature is also working whenever you're working on a collaborative environment, and if a person moves the cursor somewhere like this, that should be instantly made visible. And again, three people are now logged in and working on the same project, and as you can see it says 3 online in here. Maybe I can open that as well. So as you can see, I have opened up 3 instances, and as you can see it says disconnected. Maybe I'll go ahead and refresh it once, and now that is closed. And as you can see here, I have 3 instances, 1, 2 and 3. And now if I go ahead and let's say close maybe this one right here, and now it is reduced to just 2, that is 2 online in both of this case. So collaborative editing is working along with real-time cursor tracking. Think about it. We created a real-time app entirely using AI without any coding knowledge, and I doubt anyone can create such kind of app. I mean, even for a person with mediocre coding knowledge will struggle really hard to create such kind of an app which has real-time broadcasting and even listeners looking for all the changes, updating it on the screen real time, and all that along with real-time cursor tracking. So that is what we were able to achieve in today's video or with this project right here. And the interesting part about this one is that we used the Clerk's organizations feature, and the cool thing is that with this one module within Clerk, that is organizations feature, we were able to give the users the option to create a workspace or let's say a team, and then add people to it, invite people to it, and let people collaboratively work on the same whiteboard. Easy, right? I just had to drop in a couple lines of code. I mean, today in this video I did not really touch any line of code, but even if you were to let's say manually include all of that, all you gotta do is to enable the organizations feature, and you can copy all the components and start using it right away. So in this case we used AI, and we just asked the AI to incorporate everything for us, and pretty much everything is working. Now if I head back to let's say the dashboard, wait for it, here I should be able to see all the projects that we are working on. And maybe if you want to, you can just go ahead and add a thumbnail for your design as well, that should be made visible in the dashboard section. And now if I go ahead and switch the team, I will only see projects from that particular team. So yeah, pretty much everything is working. And now if I want to let's say create a new whiteboard, I'll click on this button right here and I can create a new whiteboard. And now that we have come this far, I'll go ahead and publish the changes to make it live, and so that I can share the URL with anyone, and pretty much anyone can use my app. And doing so is pretty simple. I'll go ahead and click on this publish button right here and click on this option that says publish. So I have some Supabase security warning which I'll fix later, but I'll go ahead and publish this anyways. So the project is updated, and if you want to let's say connect to a custom domain, so if you already own a custom domain and if you want to use that, you can press this button right here and configure your custom domain by clicking on this option right here that says connect domain against add existing domain. For now I'll go ahead and try to visit this app right here. So there you go. I just went ahead and published the app, and it is live under this URL right here. And now I can click on the sign in button and sign in with Google. Select the email. Okay, and I should now get redirected to our dashboard. Or okay, so there you go. I'm now logged in and I can find my user profile icon right here. And if I click on this go to dashboard button right here, it should take me to the dashboard, and I can find all the whiteboards that I'm part of. I can switch my team in here or switch to my personal account. Everything works. I can edit one of these whiteboards that I've been working on. And once everything is done, after you're done, you can just go ahead and download the same using this button right here. So I can click on this download button, and there you go. We have downloaded the file in PNG format as well. So you can then go ahead and iteratively add even more features and take it up from here. So this is how you build a real-time app using AI. So basically we used Lovable for creating the app, Clerk for authentication and also implementing the organizations feature, and Supabase for database and enabling the real-time content. And these are the only 3 platforms that you'll have to use to create or let's say build this app right here. And since we have created everything and pretty much everything is working, I can now go ahead and share the link, and pretty much anyone can sign up, create organizations, and then create designs, collaboratively work on the same, and take it up from there. So that is how simple it is. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show you in this video. And building such kind of incredibly complex app that involves real-time collaborative features and real-time cursor tracking, broadcasting all the changes, then adding event listeners, and accepting all these events and then processing it on the other end and showing the movement of the real-time cursor, tracking it. And that's such kind of a complex feature to incorporate, and I was able to do all of that just by using AI right within lovable.dev. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you in this video. So if you want to build such kind of apps with organizations feature and all that, make sure to click the link in the description below and go ahead and use Clerk, Lovable and Supabase, and you can create such kind of apps. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I hope you guys found this video useful. If yes, make sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next one.